Welcome to Integrity. In this tutorial, we're going to go over how to add a pay period into your advanced time and attendance. So to do this, you need to have the ability to do so within your role. And if you do, you would find that hovering over configuration, company setup, and pay periods. If you do not see that in your role, or you're not able to get to that with your level of access, you will need to contact your support to either have them do it or give you the level of access. Now, these pay periods in here, even though it says assign employees, I really can't from here because there's too many things going on that could be happening with the employees on a different pay period that need to be addressed. So although this is here, they're null and void as far as this goes. If we edit one of these, it's not really going to let us change a lot in here. We don't want to edit any of these. Maybe if the description you want to change, that would be fine, but this we can't. We can do the sequence number. The sequence number for this one might be the number of that's passed on the number of pay periods that's come and gone. So that's all that is, but you don't really want to mess with any of this information on a pay period that is already set up. If employees are attached to this pay period, you try to delete it, it's not going to let you. So a little bit of safety built in there. To add a new pay period, we would select add new pay period, and we want to give it a code. Something different from these codes to uniquely identify it with. I'm going to go with the next one of 300. In here, I might call this one salary. And it's going to be the same pay period as my biweekly people, starting April 30th. So I'm going to come down here and choose biweekly. And then I'm going to click on the calendar box. You'll notice I do have monthly, custom, accrued custom, semi-monthly, and so forth. Typical ones are going to be semi-monthly, maybe monthly, weekly, bi-weekly are the most commons. Accrued custom might be for a semi-monthly that is not the 1st through the 15th, or the 1st through the 14th or something like that. So we use how many days is in the first part of the pay period or the part that we're adding in and start on the date, and it kind of does that for the first pay period and the rest of it for the second half of the pay period of the month. But normally bi-weekly, weekly are the ones we're going to be using. I'm using bi-weekly to emulate this one. Start date, I'm going to come in here and add the 30th of April. That's automatically going to calculate the end date for Now the time is normally 12 a.m. Most pay periods split at midnight. But if you do have an odd one, that splits at a different time so that the hours prior to this go on one pay period, then after this go on the other pay period, you can utilize this in order to do that. But again, normally it's 12 a.m. The sequence number, again, if you're counting pay periods or it's needed for an export or something like that, if this is the 8th pay period, or this one here will be the 8th pay period, you would just add the number 8 in here. The pay period modification, start, end, and split. So on the start, if somebody were to clock in on the 13th at 9 p.m., their time is going to be calculated all on the 13th. Anything that even goes over into the 14th, it's all going to be calculated on the 13th. The overtime is going to be calculated there if you've set the overtime policy up for that. If we do end, then all of the time from 9 p.m. till the 14th is going to end up on the next pay period in the 14th. And of course, the split if you were to do a split, it's going to stop that pay period at midnight. So if they clock in at 9 p.m. on the 13th and clock out at 6 a.m. on the 14th, then it's going to stop their hours calculating at midnight on the 13th. And then the next pay period, the hours from midnight to 6 a.m. will be assigned to that pay period. So that's what we've got here as far as the modification goes. Normally it's just on start. And then once you've got things in here, you'll go ahead and click save. Now you need to make sure this is correct, because once you click save, you're really not going to be able to go in and modify anything, especially the dates. So you can, however, delete this as long as nobody has been assigned to it. And to see how to assign people that are already existing on a different pay period, go ahead and watch the tutorial on changing the employee's pay period. That's all we have for creating pay periods. Thank you for watching.